the QR code on your screen or go to soldierfuel.com/challenge to enter. Drink with the RAV hosts drink, Soldier Fuel.
Let's go!
Hi, my name is Tracy L. from Arizona. I don't stink around in the kitchen when it comes to the news. I watch Real America's Voice, which always serves accurate and reliable updates that are on point with their amazing hosts. So don't find yourself in a pickle by tuning into the fake news. Stick with Real America's Voice.
This is Diane from Rhode Island. Why do I love Real America's Voice? Because they deliver us facts from hosts who love America and love God. What's not to like?
This is Rashad from Boston, Massachusetts, and I love Real America's Voice. It is the best place for real news and content. Much love.
To this Real America's Voice news break, I'm Terrence Bates. Oil prices continue to hover around the $100 a barrel mark after spiking to around $120 a barrel last week. It's all thanks to the war in Iran. The International Energy Agency says it's going to release the largest volume of emergency oil reserves in its history in order to soften the blow to the war, or that the war is having on energy markets. The United States also plans to dip into its strategic oil reserves. Philip Patrick, precious metals specialist with the Birch Gold Group, joins me to discuss how all of this is ultimately playing out in the larger economy. Philip, the conflict with Iran has really pushed oil prices sharply higher. The big question, what is the economic story here that Americans need to be paying attention to?
Yeah, it's a great point, a great question, rather, and I think you hit the nail on the head. It's really about energy prices. We've seen massive swings, some of the biggest swings in history in Brent crude oil prices. As you mentioned, we hit 120. We're now trading around $95 a barrel. We have to remember, just a few weeks ago, oil was trading at $60 a barrel. This is a big problem for the inflationary fight. We have to remember, oil is not just about gas at the pump. It's the most inflationary commodity. It's used in transportation, manufacturing, absolutely every part of the process. So if oil prices stay elevated, that's going to fuel inflation domestically, which is the last thing we need heading into the midterm. So my hope is the duration is short, the spikes are temporary, and things revert back to normal.
Does this reaffirm, though, President Trump's call to drill, baby, drill?
Look, I think so, absolutely. Oil's a global market, so I think if prices spike generally, we're going to feel the effects. But yeah, never has it been a clearer reason to drill, baby, drill. We can see the effects now of the Biden administration.
From a geopolitical perspective, though, does this current crisis, if you want to call it that, embolden countries like Russia that also have a huge part of the world's of the global oil market?
Yeah, look, instability like this in general is highlighting, I think, the weaknesses globally. You mentioned Russia. Look at what's happening with Venezuela. I think the administration have been very smart, and ultimately this affects China and Russia significantly. So I think there's a play behind the scenes, which is to be expected from this administration. But I think ultimately what they're doing, we're producing more oil domestically than ever before, which will soften the blow, at least in terms of supply shocks. I don't see us having those issues here in the United States. They may over in Europe. But I think with things as they are, prices are going to remain elevated, particularly if shipping through the Straits of Hormuz is problematic. So that's the thing really to watch.
You talked about oil volatility. Does that support investment in precious metals then? This brings us back to why we typically have you on to talk about gold. I guess that was kind of a loaded question, wasn't it?
It was definitely a loaded question, but it was also a good question. Look, it all ties in, and we've been talking for a while now. We have the perfect storm for precious metals. It's not just this global instability we're seeing. We're still seeing a slow devaluation of the dollar. It's not linear. We saw a slight spike up. Debt service, so borrowing rates on U.S. debt are increasing. Inflation is still persistent and may rise again on the back of high oil prices. And ultimately, like I said, war, instability, these climates, unfortunately, are very good for precious metals, and we're seeing it in their growth. Gold and silver both up aggressively for the year after, an aggressive start, a dip. Now we've recovered and continuing to move up. So the fundamentals are strengthening for precious metals.
Always good to talk to you, my friend. I appreciate your perspective. And folks, if you're interested in getting in contact with the folks over at the Birch Gold Group, right there at the bottom of your screen is all the information you need. Contact them and at very least start the process. Well, as always, we appreciate having you along for the ride. I'm Terrence Bates. We're going to take a quick break and then get you back to your regularly scheduled programming.
When it's breaking,
we're moving.
Breaking news.
Breaking news. News doesn't sleep. At Real America's Voice, we don't get to crash or lose focus. That's why we drink Soldier Fuel to stay ahead of the chaos, because we do this for you.
So good.
Soldier Fuel has no sugar, so no crash.
Now that's a game changer. I'm fueled up now. Woo!
Used by the U.S. military every day. Now available to you.
This is huge.
Built by Patriots for Patriots.
Now it's time for you to do the Soldier Fuel Challenge. Order Soldier Fuel, film yourself cracking one open, and taking the Soldier Fuel Challenge. Upload your video at soldierfuel.com/challenge, and you'll be entered to win a free shipment of Soldier Fuel.
That's what I'm talking about.
Your video could also be featured on air. Just scan the QR code on your screen or go to soldierfuel.com/challenge to enter. Drink with the RAV hosts drink, Soldier Fuel.
Let's go.
The factories from small towns to city streets. This is the fight for the soul of our nation.
We're watching Democrats attack democracy. Do not be fooled.
The strength, the grit, the greatness of the American spirit, all right here.
The left wanted power, not peace, but there's a resistance rising. A generation saying enough, enough. We've tried it their way, and it failed.
The Steve Gruber Show with your host, Steve Gruber, starts right now.
All right, let's light this fuse and get this party started here as we fight for you from the foxhole of freedom every single day, putting this great nation first in our minds. Glad to have you on board. Let's get rolling. Three big things to cover today. Number one, a massive winter storm headed to the upper Great Lakes could dump 3 feet or more of snow through Wisconsin, northern Michigan, into Ontario. Boy, it's going to be coupled with 50-mile-per-hour winds. It's going to be epic, my friends. Epic storm. Number two, the price of gasoline continues to creep up 4 cents again yesterday. We're on our way to $4 a gallon. We are. And number three, several terror attacks across the country have people on edge. Shootings at Old Dominion University and a truck attack on a Michigan synagogue all have a common thread. The shooter at Old Dominion was previously convicted for having ties to ISIS. He was screaming Allahu Akbar as he began firing. He wounded 2 ROTC members before being killed himself, and he was not shot. He was beaten to death. That's my understanding, beaten to death inside that classroom. The second attack came around 1 o'clock Thursday at a Jewish synagogue, West Bloomfield. That's a suburb of Detroit. The suspect rammed his truck into the building and then was confronted by armed security, was also killed. Couple that with the attempted bombing by 2 Islamic sympathizers in New York City and the deadly shooting in Austin, Texas, and it's becoming clear these kinds of deadly attacks on Americans are on the rise. It is Free Speech, Free for All Friday, powered by the Patriot Mobile Common Sense Hotline, 877-310-9966. 877-310-9966. It's your chance. It's your chance to be heard. And by the way, the vehicle used in that attack on the Michigan synagogue registered to a migrant from Lebanon who lives in Muslim-dominated Dearborn. Imagine my shock. We are under attack, and the root causes seem pretty obvious. I want to jump right into it today and hear from you, America. Let's start with Joe. He is in Columbus, Ohio. Joe, welcome to the program.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Hello, sir. Pretty good, sir. Can you hear me?
Yeah, obviously.
Wait a minute. Oh, sir, I don't know about you, but I have a definite feeling of dread. If we do not win the 2026 elections, not backing the endorsements of Donald Trump, because if we vote for the wrong people, we will all be rounded up and put into either re-education camps or in jail for life, or while you're in there.
Okay, Joe, greatly appreciate the call. Thank you very much. Look, we're not going to re-education camps. I don't know if we're going to win the midterm elections, but there is a divide in this country. It's clear. And the question is, what kind of country do you want to have? One that is based on free speech, free markets, and free people? Or one that's dominated by socialists and Marxists and woke ideology? It's pretty clear. The problem we have here as we go into the elections is, how do we convince those young people to stay with us? They don't like the war, but the polling on the war stays pretty consistent. In fact, Donald Trump is more popular today than any president at this point in their presidency. So that's pretty clear and pretty important. Let's move along to Mike in upstate New York. Mike, how are you today?
How are you doing? Greetings from upstate New York.
Greetings. How are you?
I've got a question that's maybe a little out of what the discussion is today. I'm actually more worried about the tens of millions of illegals and legals who are here that aren't the worst of the worst, right? We seem to have trouble getting the worst of the worst, but those huge numbers of people are going to ruin our culture, our language. They're going to destroy the system, everything about our.
Well, you make a great point, Mike. A little hinky on your connection there, but I'll say this. You're right about that. And the issue is, when you take a group of people, if you disperse them, across the country, sprinkle them here and there, it would be helpful. But what they do is they put a whole concentration of a group of people in one place. They keep them together as if it's an adoption. And in a way it is, but not that way. And so if they come in and have no interest in assimilation, they come in and they change the culture. And you can see this in Springfield, Ohio, and other places where great concentrations come in. Obviously, Minneapolis. It's changed the nature of Minneapolis. We need to clean up our act when it comes to how we handle this. And that's what 77 million Americans voted for, changing how we deal with immigrants. It's a big driving factor even today. Let's go out west to Idaho. They have the same challenges. Steve is in Idaho today. Steve, how are you today?
Hey, I'm pretty good. This morning and yesterday morning I was listening to conversations in regard to what would happen if Sharia came in here. I think it's already here, but it doesn't look anything like our laws. And if you patriots out there who want to still remain patriots, hey, to the top of your lungs, loud and proud, America, go for it. That's all. I'm out of here.
Greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much. I do appreciate it, Steve. Look, this Constitution of ours, this well-worn Constitution that sits at my desk side every single day and I refer to when needed, which is every single day, it promises a Republican form of government. Sharia law is not compatible in any measure with the United States Constitution, and they don't care. That's the point. They don't care. They think they can run things their way because, look, it's not a religion, it's a form of governance. It is. It's a form of governance. How to run your government, how to run your society, how to put your rules and laws and guidelines into place. That's how it operates. It is not compatible with this document. And that's really not up for debate. Let's go to Tom in Michigan. Tom, how are you today?
Great. You have a great show, Steve. My biggest point is this all started when I was in the Navy in 79, and it's almost everything's repeated. Reagan was shot, Trump was shot, and now we still have the Iranian problem again. And while I was in Christchurch, New Zealand, I had to carry a 45 on watch when the Iranian thing went down.
Christchurch was a nice town, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great town. All right, so what are your thoughts now? As you see, there were two different incidents in Michigan yesterday, by the way. There was the one at the synagogue that everybody's heard about. There was also a bomb threat at the Walmart store in Houghton Lake, Michigan, called into the FBI tip line.
I think we all got to be on our toes, and the ones of us that are armed got to be watching out for the ones that aren't.
I agree with you on that. Thank you for the call, Tom. Make sure you got your snow shovel. All right, let's go to Todd. He's in Indiana today. Todd, how are you? What's on your mind?
Time.
Say again?
We don't have time.
Oh, yeah. You're right. We'll wait for Todd after the break. Brock's right. I've already packed the first segment. It's unbelievable. Glad to have you on board. The Common Sense Hotline, 877-310-9966. 877-310-9966. Free speech, free for all Friday. We'll be right back.
When it's breaking,
we're moving.
Breaking news.
Breaking news.
News doesn't sleep. At Real America's Voice, we don't get to crash or lose focus. That's why we drink Soldier Fuel to stay ahead of the chaos, because we do this for you.
So good.
Soldier Fuel has no sugar, so no crash.
Now that's a game changer. I'm fueled up now. Woo!
Used by the U.S. military every day. Now available to you.
This is huge.
Built by Patriots for Patriots.
Now it's time for you to do the Soldier Fuel Challenge. Order Soldier Fuel, film yourself cracking one open, and taking the Soldier Fuel Challenge. Upload your video at soldierfuel.com/challenge, and you'll be entered to win a free shipment of Soldier Fuel.
That's what I'm talking about.
Your video could also be featured on air. Just scan the QR code on your screen or go to soldierfuel.com/challenge to enter. Drink with the RAV hosts drink, Soldier Fuel.
Let's go.
Hi, my name is Tracy L. from Arizona. I don't stink around in the kitchen when it comes to the news. I watch Real America's Voice, which always serves accurate and reliable updates that are on point with their amazing hosts. So don't find yourself in a pickle by tuning into the fake news. Stick with Real America's Voice.
This is Diane from Rhode Island. Why do I love Real America's Voice? Because they deliver us facts from hosts who love America and love God. What's not to like?
This is Rashad from Boston, Massachusetts, and I love Real America's Voice. It is the best place for real news and content. Much love.
Hi, my name's Paul Foyer. I'm Foyer04 in the Getter Chat. I love rap for all the Getter, all the War Room Posse, and all of you guys. Love y'all. Bye.
A lot to talk about today as the war in Iran continues. What are we, day 13 now? We apparently lost a KC-135 tanker. I flew on one of those ones out of Wright-Patterson Air Force Base Ohio, when I was a reporter for NBC News back in the day. I actually fueled an A-10 Warthog. Tiny little space to get into. It's not for people as tall as I am or as big as I am, I guess. Let's continue the conversation here. We don't know the casualties off that yet. We're waiting to hear. Let's go to Todd in Indiana, as I said before. Todd, how are you?
I'm doing fine, Steve. I just want to share my opinion this morning, and I'm sure it's not a very popular one. But in my opinion, all of our TSA agents need to walk off the job and go on strike until our Senate passes the bill to get them paid. Show the Senate who has actually got the power here. If they walked off the job, they would have that bill passed today.
That's a good point.
Things would turn around.
Now, maybe it's popular, maybe it's not, but I don't disagree with you. Look, this is the third time the TSA has ended up in this financial stranglehold promoted by the Democrats. And for what purpose? We just saw 2 terrorist attacks in my state, or potential terrorist attacks in a single day, plus what happened at Old Dominion University, where the attacker was beaten to death by those he would have killed. Look, it's time to be vigilant. It's not time to play games with the Department of Homeland Security, is it?
No, it's not. And if they would just walk out and shut the country down, they would prove the point and get our government to work instead of trying to prove points that are pointless to anything.
Yeah, what do they call that? You could just have a blue flu.
A word salad I made there.
Yeah, no, I got it. You could have a sick out. You wouldn't even need a designated strike. You could just have a sick out. Everybody calls in sick the same day. Yeah, Todd, great.
Yep, not show up.
I don't think you're wrong. Thank you for the phone call. That would get their attention. That would get Chuck Schumer off his high horse, wouldn't it? Yeah, it just might. Let's go to Joseph. He is in the great state of Texas. Joseph, how are you today?
I'm all right, Steve. Good morning to you.
Good morning. What's on your mind?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, look, guys, I can hear you, all right? When you call, I can hear you just fine. Go ahead. What's on your mind?
Well, the fact that we have all these illegals and still in this country and a lot of, sleeper cells, and we're talking over 500,000 plus, or 500 million plus, I should say, considering for 4 years they had the opportunity to come into our country. And the fact that we have all these sleeper cells, I already know that I just feel in my gut that there's something bad's going to happen with a lot more terrorist attacks like we've been seeing. And like you spoke about yesterday with someone else on your show, it was pretty scary thought, but, it's just, given the fact that we had an imbecile as a president, I wouldn't even call him president, he was more like installed. But the fact that we're going to be dealing with a lot more
the threat is significant.
And issues.
There's no question, Joseph.
Yes,
the threat is significant. And at some point, thank you for the call, at some point, it's not going to be one person driving his truck into a synagogue and trying to set the place on fire, which was also a school and a daycare, by the way. They got all the kids out. School was not in session. The daycare was. But the synagogues around this country, every one of them has security that are well trained. They've gone to great lengths because they know the challenges they face. Other churches not as well defended. Mine is, but not all. Look, I think he's right. You are going to see bigger attacks. You're going to see bigger attacks coming. And you're not going to be surprised when it happens. But this is the price you pay for an open border. This is the price you pay when you continually give a blind eye to big concerns. I talk about situational awareness when you walk into a restaurant for yourself personally. This country needs situational awareness on a grand scale. We don't know who's here. We don't. We don't know what they're doing right now at this hour. Planning to kill civilians to make a point about God only knows what. The concerns are growing by the day. Brian is in upstate New York. Brian, how are you today? Brian, are you there?
Brian in upstate Michigan, maybe?
Okay, upstate Michigan. I guess, Brock's not perfect.
My fault.
That's all right.
My fault.
All right, Brian, you're in the snow
That's
belt.
all right.
How are you?
We still thank God for it.
All right, what's on your mind?
So, I've spent the last couple of months sending letters to Peterless and Slutkin here in Michigan, and I don't even get responses back, but same thing, complaining about all this. I don't think they even listen to us.
I don't think they do either. Slotkin yesterday, the senator from Michigan, came out after this attack at the synagogue and said it's a terrible thing, that this happened to the Jewish people. But it's not just the Jewish people, it's everybody. She tried to make it about, tried to, once again, sanitize what's obvious. Sanitize what's obvious and say, well, it's everybody. Well, these Democrats like Slotkin, come in as moderates. They run as moderates, but they're not moderate. She's not moderate at all. Gary Peters is leaving, and the challenge for Michigan is to get a better candidate into that seat. Because if not, we're going to have somebody more radical than her. That's the concern. That's the problem we face. That's a fact, Brian. Hey, where do you live in Michigan?
Charlevoix County. Was up here with you one time with you and Ivy and Char-a-Lago.
There you go.
Got to sit at the table with you. One of the best nights of my life last year.
Well, thank you. Well, because Ivy was there, not because of me. I know the answer.
Exactly.
I get it. Get an extra snow shovel, son. You're going to need it. Maybe 2, or just stay in the house.
Yeah, it's about 3 inches out there now.
Yeah, about 3 feet coming. All right, I'll take a break and be back. It is Free Speech, Free for All Friday.
When it's breaking,
we're moving.
Breaking news.
Breaking news.
News doesn't sleep. At Real America's Voice, we don't get to crash or lose focus. That's why we drink Soldier Fuel to stay ahead of the chaos, because we do this for you.
So good.
Soldier Fuel has no sugar, so no crash.
Now that's a game changer.
Here we go, all of us.
Wow, that's good. I'm fueled up now.
Used by the U.S. military every day. Now available to you.
This is huge.
Built by Patriots for Patriots.
Now it's time for you to do the Soldier Fuel Challenge. Order Soldier Fuel, film yourself cracking one open, and taking the Soldier Fuel Challenge. Upload your video at soldierfuel.com/challenge, and you'll be entered to win a free shipment of Soldier Fuel.
That's what I'm talking about.
Your video could also be featured on air. Just scan the QR code on your screen or go to soldierfuel.com/challenge to enter. Drink with the Rav Hosts drink, Soldier Fuel.
Let's go.
All right, let's just keep talking about it. Look, these terrorist attacks have become more frequent. It's remarkable, honestly, that we had a pair yesterday, for sure. One in Norfolk, Virginia, at Old Dominion University, and one in suburban Detroit, West Bloomfield. And the only people that died in those attacks were the attackers. That is pretty fortunate, pretty miraculous in my estimation. Let's go to Perry in the great state of Missouri. How are you, Perry?
Steve,
Good
I just
morning.
want to say that I love your show and everything, but I want to say this to everybody out there. Now, remember what we all said. The midterms is what they don't want us to win. You know yourself, they're doing everything to Trump, like his gas going up. What a joke. A friend of mine down here in Texas said there's more gas than they ever been.
That's right.
But they're just trying to make it show that Trump's losing everybody's, deal. And people just going to have to get used to it and go vote. Just remember that, Steve.
Yeah, you got to vote. Amen. There's two groups of people. Thank you very much. There's two groups of people that historically have not shown up in big numbers. And this is a problem, whether it's a midterm or a presidential election or any other election for that matter. Two groups of people that do not show up. Christians, 40% of Christians don't vote. Can you imagine? In a country where we see terrorist attacks like we saw yesterday, Christians don't vote. Second group of people that do not vote, hunters. Guys, what are you doing? You saw what happened there in Old Dominion. The prosecutor, the district attorney comes out. He doesn't blame the terrorist. He says it's a gun problem. It's not the terrorist problem. It's not an ideological problem. It's not a problem that this guy hates America so much, even though he came here, that particular individual, from, was it Sierra Leone? He was previously convicted of having connections to ISIS, the terrorist that died trying to kill people at Old Dominion University. So if you're a hunter, a gun owner, and you don't vote, it's on you. If you're a Christian and you don't vote when you see what's going on every day, it's on you. Get off the couch. Look, you can even probably still mail in a ballot. Get the job done. I'll be back.
When it's breaking,
we're moving.
Breaking news.
Breaking news.
News doesn't sleep. At Real America's Voice, we don't get to crash or lose focus. That's why we drink Soldier Fuel to stay ahead of the chaos, because we do this for you.
So good.
Soldier Fuel has no sugar, so no crash.
Now that's a game changer.
Here we go, all of us.
Wow, that's good.
I'm fueled up now.
Used by the U.S. military every day. Now available to you.
This is huge.
Built by Patriots for Patriots.
Now it's time for you to do the Soldier Fuel Challenge. Order Soldier Fuel, film yourself cracking one open, and taking the Soldier Fuel Challenge. Upload your video at soldierfuel.com/challenge, and you'll be entered to win a free shipment of Soldier Fuel.
That's what I'm talking about.
Your video could also be featured on air. Just scan the QR code on your screen or go to soldierfuel.com/challenge to enter. Drink with the Rav Hosts drink, Soldier Fuel.
Let's go.
From powerhouse vocalist Natasha Owens, known for standout singles like Trump One and Somali Waltz, comes her brand new release, The Boss, released on Real America's Music. This is the direct response to Bruce Springsteen's recent release, The Streets of Minneapolis. While Springsteen once branded himself as a voice of the working class, The Boss gives a voice to everyday Americans and reminds listeners who truly shapes the future. The Real America's Voice audience has the power to move charts and shake the industry. Download it right now. Scan the QR code or search The Boss on iTunes. Push it up the charts. Make them notice.
I'm Terry from New Jersey, and I just want to say that I love Real America's Voice. I love you guys. Keep up the good work.
My name is Tina, and I'm in Dallas, Texas. I'm so grateful to be able to get my news from an organization like Real America's Voice, whose conservative values align with my own.
My name is Sandy Zeiss. Rav is the greatest for me because I live alone, and when I'm watching in the morning, have my coffee, I feel like I'm talking with family.
Free speech, free for all Friday, powered by the Patriot Mobile Common Sense Hotline, 877-310-9966. In fact, if you go to Patriot Mobile today, you'll get a free month of service if you sign up. Ivy and I have used it for years. You'll love it as well. And all our great sponsors make it possible for us to be here every day. For example, the Wellness Company. If you've tried everything for cheek redness or breakouts and nothing works, it's not your fault. The real cause might be deeper than you think. Introducing Clear Skin Ivermectin Cream from the Wellness Company. Prescription strength dermatologist developed formula that helps reduce inflammation, balance bacteria, and restore your skin's natural glow. This triple action cream combines 3 medical grade ingredients for powerful results. Imbalanced redness and ivermectin can calm and irritation and eliminate skin parasites that contribute to rosacea and acne. Together, these ingredients all work to reduce bumps, swelling, and redness while supporting smoother, healthier, and more radiant skin over time. Formulated and compounded here in the U.S. It's FDA-approved cream. It's trusted by doctors for visible and lasting results. Experience clear, confident skin with the Wellness Company's Clear Skin Ivermectin Cream. Just go to twc.health/Gruber. Use the code Gruber. You're going to save $20 plus free shipping. $20 and free shipping right now. Let's get back to the phone lines. Tim is in Wisconsin. They're going to see some snow, too. We're all getting our snow shovels warmed up over here. Tim, how are you today?
Real good. How you doing, Steve?
I'm good. What's on your mind?
Well, basically, the Strait of Hormuz, I know the military, our military is the best and things like that, and I'm not blaming anything, but it kind of seems to me like in any war, things happen that you don't expect.
Correct.
Or weren't able to plan for. And I think they really blew it on that part. And the Mullins with their radical Islamic theology, really trying to all these terror threats in the United States. I think we underestimated that too. It's a really scary time, and the only thing we can do is, like in any war, you just got to gut it and push on.
Yeah, that's true. I appreciate the phone call. Look, the Strait of Hormuz is not closed. It's just not being used. Let's be clear about that. The Strait of Hormuz is not closed, and if Lloyd's of London had not pulled the insurance on those oil tankers, they'd still be moving. That's a fact. What's happening here right now, because one of the earlier callers pointed this out, we have more oil and more gas. I think it was Joseph in Texas. More oil and more gas in reserve than at just about any time in history. We have 1.4 billion barrels of oil in reserve on this planet today. 1.4 billion barrels. Gasoline reserves are at very high numbers, and yet they pushed the price of oil today. It's at $95 a barrel. That's about $30 higher than it was, just shy of that, than it was when the action in Iran started. This is being artificially inflated, and I will say it again. You watch. These oil companies will post record profits for this quarter as a result of the gas and oil prices being artificially jumped by speculators and fear. All right? Let's go to Tom in Georgia. Tom, how are you today?
Good morning, Steve. I just want to let you know, I've been in law enforcement for over 25 years. Back early on, about 20 years ago, we were having anti-terrorism classes, and one of the main things they were teaching us was that CARE and the Muslim Brotherhood are probably our the most threat that we have to this country because of the money that they can generate. That's where a lot of this terrorism is coming from in the United States right now. We declared them a terrorist organization. We need to get rid of them out of this country. They're getting a big foothold.
Yeah.
Headquarters, I think, is in Miami, and we just need to take care of it.
Yeah, big spread in Texas too, Tom. Thank you for that. I'm sure you've got mosques, many of them in Atlanta now as well, and throughout Georgia and everywhere else for that matter. And you're right, the president declared CARE and the Muslim Brotherhood as terrorist organizations, but that's just one step. Be vigilant today, folks. Do not walk out there without your eyes wide open. Have a plan. Know what you're dealing with. Because, look, it was a Walmart in Houghton Lake, Michigan, not a big place, with the bomb threat yesterday that came in through the FBI. You've got this synagogue in suburban Detroit, which is really on a back road. Right? So it doesn't matter if you're in a packed Walmart or on a back road. The threat is real. And we all know, sitting here today, that something bigger is coming. I don't know what it's going to look like yet, but something bigger is coming, so please be aware. Jeff is in North Carolina. Jeff, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Steve. A couple of quick points. The Iranian people were rioting during the Obama administration, and Obama sent in pallets of cash. Now the Iranian commoners, they couldn't get rid of the regime because they were not armed. So now that we have aerial supremacy in Iran, Why not fly in and drop with parachutes pallets of small arms and ammo and let the people send that regime where it needs to go?
$1.7 billion. Well, look, you know what I think? I think the people of Iran really wish they had a Second Amendment today. I think that's what they think, that they were able to defend themselves. Look, the IRGC represents less than 10% of the population. So you've got about 9 million people that are part of this government regime, and then you've got 80 million people left. There's 92 million people in Iran, so 80 million or so that do not support the regime, and 9 million that have a lot of weaponry to keep the populace in place, Jeff. $1.7 billion we dropped. And don't forget the $6 billion that Joe Biden said, okay, you can use that for humanitarian purposes, and unfroze the assets. Terrible idea. George is in Kansas. George, good morning. George, are you there?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I just got one question, Steve. I really appreciate what you're doing. I watch you every morning, every day. I'm a Cold War veteran, and the question is to you is why do they allow China to buy property in the United States of America all over? I'm close to Missouri somewhere, and they own 250,000 acres of land nearby some of the air space that we have where our bombers are.
Yeah, here's the answer, George.
I just wanted you to tell you to bring this up to our government or to the people why the United States allows that China to buy our property when,
it's not just China, George.
The wars that we suffered and gave people die for our country.
Understood.
Our country's not for sale.
Well, it is. And thanks for the phone call. I'm going to leave it there. Let me answer the question while I've got time. The United States does something that many countries do now. We allow foreign buyers of our land. It's not just China. In the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, big tracts of land have been sold in the last few months to foreign companies that are buying up timberland. So when you go to build a house, you go to Home Depot or wherever you go to get wood, it drives the price of wood up, you see. Because these are global commodities, whether it's oil or wood or whatever it may be, they are global commodities, and the demand globally drives the price up. But America allows foreigners to buy land here. Many countries do not. You can't go buy land in Mexico. You can't buy land in Qatar, even though Tucker somehow got his hand on land in Qatar because he's non-Muslim. That's not even allowed by law. You can ask him about that. But the fact of the matter is, we're one of the few countries that allows people to come buy land here. It's not just China. A whole bunch of other folks, too, and it's a good point that he makes. I'm going to take a break and be back. It's Free Speech, Free for All Friday. Glad to see you here today. I'll be right back.
When it's breaking,
we're moving.
Breaking news.
Breaking news.
News doesn't sleep. At Real America's Voice, we don't get to crash or lose focus. That's why we drink Soldier Fuel to stay ahead of the chaos, because we do this for you.
So good.
Soldier Fuel has no sugar, so no crash.
Now that's a game changer.
Here we go, all of us.
Wow, that's good.
I'm fueled up now.
Used by the U.S. military every day. Now available to you.
This is huge.
Built by Patriots for Patriots.
Now it's time for you to do the Soldier Fuel Challenge. Order Soldier Fuel, film yourself cracking one open, and taking the Soldier Fuel Challenge. Upload your video at soldierfuel.com/challenge, and you'll be entered to win a free shipment of Soldier Fuel.
That's what I'm talking about.
Your video could also be featured on air. Just scan the QR code on your screen or go to soldierfuel.com/challenge to enter. Drink with the Rav Hosts drink, Soldier Fuel.
Let's go.
From powerhouse vocalist Natasha Owens, known for standout singles like Trump One and Somali Waltz, comes her brand new release, The Boss, released on Real America's Music. This is the direct response to Bruce Springsteen's recent release, The Streets of Minneapolis. While Springsteen once branded himself as a voice of the working class, The Boss gives a voice to everyday Americans and reminds listeners who truly shapes the future. The Real America's Voice audience has the power to move charts and shake the industry. Download it right now. Scan the QR code or search The Boss on iTunes. Push it up the charts. Make them notice.
I'm Terry from New Jersey, and I just want to say that I love Real America's Voice. I love you guys. Keep up the good work.
My name is Tina, and I'm in Dallas, Texas. I'm so grateful to be able to get my news from an organization like Real America's Voice, whose conservative values align with my own.
My name is Sandy Zeiss. Rav is the greatest for me because I live alone, and when I'm watching in the morning, have my coffee, I feel like I'm talking with family.
You know, with so many weight loss programs out there, they don't agree on much of anything. Eat meat, don't eat meat. Eat this, don't eat that, whatever. Here's the one thing they all agree on, and all nutritional experts agree on. Hydration is key to your success. Hydration is key to your health. What do you do about hydration? I mean, I'd be chasing me around with bottles of water most days, but you can do better. You can do better with Performalite from Victory Nutrition International. It is a great company, 6 fabulous products, but I want to talk about hydration today with Jeff Hooks, the president and CEO of VNI. Jeff, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Steve. Nice to be with you.
Yeah, you got all these experts, and I use the term lightly and loosely, but all these experts, they don't agree on much of anything, but they agree on hydration. You got to have enough fluid in your body to make sure you're flushing out the toxins, to make sure that you're hydrated, to make sure you're healthy, and all these things, your skin's good and everything, right? And you have a product called Performalite that focuses solely on making sure your hydration is at its best possible place, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, you mentioned that hydration is something that we're all hearing more and more about. And so in most cases, at least with our consumer base, hydration is related to water consumption. So are you drinking enough water? But that's only half the equation. You can drink a ton of good, pure, clean water, but if you drink a lot of water and don't replenish with electrolytes, you're dehydrated. In fact, the more water you drink with no electrolytes, you're actually flushing out the electrolytes that are in your body. So as you said, this whole concept of hydration is mission critical, whether it's weight loss is the objective, whether it's boosting the immune system and avoiding and preventing illness and keeping your body strong. Hydration is absolutely critical. Yeah. And it's both water and electrolytes.
You go to the store, Jeff, and it looks like, it's every color under the sun of these sports drinks and nutrition drinks and hydration drinks. And it's, you get Target confusion when you stand there looking. Tell us why you don't need Target confusion anymore, why this product is just better.
Well, we spent a couple of years in R&D on this product, and our vision at kind of a high level, Steve, was to create the product that everyone else pretends to be. So what we came out with was the Performalite hydration formula, and it's proprietary like all of our formulations. It has our absorption technology for nutrition that gets in. As we always discuss with our audiences and communities, it's not what's on the label that's important, although that's important, but it's what our body can absorb and assimilate into the bloodstream. And so with Performalite, we've got the big 3 electrolytes, which are magnesium, potassium, and sodium, but they're sourced in premium ways. So, for example, our sodium is sourced from seawater, so it's body friendly. It's not synthetic sodium. It's sodium from seawater. And then we've got one ingredient, for example, that has been clinically proven to boost what's called ATP, which is cellular energy in the body. So it's not just a recovery product or a product to use while you're exercising. It's a product that can be sipped on and enjoyed all day. It tastes great. But we also have a recovery blend, which is a complex matrix of 30 fruits and vegetables and some botanical extracts, including acai, mangosteen, cherries. I mean, it's an amazing formula that's designed holistically to give that hydration and give the body the resources that it needs to perform at its best.
And that's what VNI, that's what you focus on all the time. Optimizing hydration, optimizing nutrition, optimizing your body. That's what the whole family of 6 products is all about, isn't it?
It is. Our approach, and our founder was a widely acclaimed biochemist, researcher, and formulator. He's since gone to heaven, but his whole philosophy from the foundation of the company now 14 years ago was to create unique proprietary formulas with premium ingredients with that same absorption technology. But the whole idea is to give the body the raw materials that it needs the way God made us so that our body can perform at its absolute best. So whether you're 10 or whether you're 99, the idea is give your body the resources so at that stage in life you can perform at your best.
Absolutely true. Ivy went and did her research. You know how we arrived here. And she reached out to VNI because she said, look, I've done the research of all the different products out there, whether it's Performalite or the other products that you have available to the public now. And she said, look, they only have 6 products. They don't have 100 different things like so many companies do, or 1,000 different things. They don't have 27 colors of sports drinks in the cabinet. And so she arrived at your product. We've used it. It has been spectacular. Everything you say that they do, they do. And I think it's a testament to your company, to your founder, and to your ongoing focus on optimizing people's health. And I tip my hat to you.
Thank you, Steve. And one of the keys that we're really excited about, particularly in our R&D over the last couple of years, we've always had efficacious science-backed ingredients that deliver results proven by, with Performalite, we've got multiple published peer-reviewed clinical studies and periodical publications on the efficacy of the product. But one of the things I'm real proud of as president and CEO, and I've been with the company for many, many years, is running the company, is we've got products that are consumer friendly also, meaning they taste great. And so our customers enjoy the experience of consuming our products. For example, again, with Performalite, mix it with some bottled water, mix it in a glass of water, add it to a smoothie, add it to juice. You can't do it wrong, but you'll enjoy the taste of it. And that's one of the keys, is combining that science and efficacy that you're talking about with a good consumer appeal where people enjoy taking the product and drinking the product. In this case.
Absolutely. If they don't enjoy it, they're not going to use it, right? If it tastes nasty, they're not. So that's the key. You make it consumer friendly, but you make it body friendly and effective, and that's key. If you want to find out more, and you should, go to vni.life/Gruber. You'll save 20% if you become a subscriber to these products. And again, there's only 6. There's not target confusion, as I mentioned before. There's 6 products. They're focused on optimizing your health, your hydration, your nutrition. You can save even more as a subscriber. Jeff, I really appreciate you being here. We love your products. We look forward to using them every day. And thank you. We'll talk again soon.
Sounds great, Steve. Thank you so much.
There you have it. Again, it's vni.life/Gruber. Find out more, vni.life/Gruber. Look, we only talk about products on this program that we stand behind and use ourselves. That's the difference here, all right? vni.life/Gruber. Save yourself some money. Become a subscriber. Save even more. I'll take a break and be right back.
When it's breaking,
we're moving.
Breaking news.
Breaking news.
News doesn't sleep. At Real America's Voice, we don't get to crash or lose focus. That's why we drink Soldier Fuel, to stay ahead of the chaos, because we do this for you.
So good.
Soldier Fuel has no sugar, so no crash.
Now that's a game changer.
Here we go, all of us.
Wow, that's good.
I'm fueled up now.
Used by the U.S. military every day. Now available to you.
This is huge.
Built by Patriots for Patriots.
Now it's time for you to do the Soldier Fuel Challenge. Order Soldier Fuel, film yourself cracking one open, and taking the Soldier Fuel Challenge. Upload your video at soldierfuel.com/challenge, and you'll be entered to win a free shipment of Soldier Fuel.
That's what I'm talking about.
Your video could also be featured on air. Just scan the QR code on your screen or go to soldierfuel.com/challenge to enter. Drink with the RAV Hosts drink, Soldier Fuel.
Let's go.
From powerhouse vocalist Natasha Owens, known for standout singles like Trump One and Somali Waltz, comes her brand new release, The Boss, released on Real America's Music. This is the direct response to Bruce Springsteen's recent release, The Streets of Minneapolis. While Springsteen once branded himself as a voice of the working class, The Boss gives a voice to everyday Americans and reminds listeners who truly shapes the future. The Real America's Voice audience has the power to move charts and shake the industry. Download it right now. Scan the QR code or search The Boss on iTunes. Push it up the charts. Make them notice.
I'm Terry from New Jersey, and I just want to say that I love Real America's Voice. I love you guys. Keep up the good work.
My name is Tina, and I'm in Dallas, Texas. I'm so grateful to be able to get my news from an organization like Real America's Voice, whose conservative values align with my own.
Well, that stinks. Free speech, free for all Friday. Glad to have you on board as we continue. We've done this for a long time. I do this out of respect to Rush Limbaugh. He is the godfather of Open Line Fridays. And without him, we wouldn't be here as far as it all goes, with talent on loan from God, as Rush used to say. Let's go to Connie in South Carolina. Connie, how are you today?
I am doing great. Steve, I love your show. I watch it every day.
Thank you.
But I'm from South Carolina, but I'm originally from Georgia, and I know that 2026 is very important, and I'm having a problem with MTG. A lot of my friends that still live there, she plays the victim, and she bashes our president. I mean, get over it. You got your feelings hurt, but we have never had a president that loved our country the way that he does and stands behind us the way he does. And she bashes him so that she can look like a victim. And I'm really sick of it.
Yeah, and a lot of other people. I
really wanted to complain about her. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Connie. A lightning rod and a divisive figure now for those on the right, that's for sure. Marjorie Taylor Greene, formerly of Georgia 14. The one real problem I have with all that, and I've said this before and I'll say it again, quitting. I can't stand it. You campaign for the job. You ask people to vote for you because you're going to go represent them. And then when things didn't go your way, you quit. And that doesn't fly in my world. You don't quit the football team because you don't like the coach, and you don't quit being a member of Congress because you have an argument with the president or two or three. If you have a real problem, you stand in there and fight for your constituents, if that's what your constituents want. But I don't think she could be reelected in Georgia 14 today if she had run. Maybe that's the real issue. But she did quit one day after earning her pension and everything. All right, coming up in the next hour, Eugene, Lindy, Don, Jenny, Ken, and so many more. We continue this for the next 2 hours. It's Free Speech, Free for All Friday, powered by Patriot Mobile's Common Sense Hotline. By the way, go to Patriot Mobile today, patriotmobile.com. You'll get a free month of service if you're not already a subscriber. And don't forget the podcast on YouTube. The podcast right there. Go become a subscriber. Forgotten America. You're going to love this. I'll be back.
When it's breaking,
We're moving.
Breaking news. Breaking news.
News doesn't sleep. At Real America's Voice, we don't get to crash or lose focus. That's why we drink Soldier Fuel to stay ahead of the chaos, because we do this for you.
So good.
Soldier Fuel has no sugar, so no crash.
Now that's a game changer.
Here we go, all of us.
Wow, that's good.
I'm fueled up now.
Used by the U.S. military every day. Now available to you.
This is huge.
Built by Patriots for Patriots.
Now it's time for you to do the Soldier Fuel Challenge. Order Soldier Fuel, film yourself cracking one open, and taking the Soldier Fuel Challenge. Upload your video at soldierfuel.com/challenge, and you'll be entered to win a free shipment of Soldier Fuel.
That's what I'm talking about.
Your video could also be featured on air. Just scan the QR code on your screen or go to soldierfuel.com/challenge to enter. Drink with the RAV hosts drink, Soldier Fuel.
Let's go.